Far beyond the busy worlds of the Galactic Union, there was an old space scrapyard where thousands of broken ships floated in silence. Most of them had been forgotten for hundreds of years. Their engines were dead, their weapons were gone, and their names had disappeared from history. Everyone believed they were nothing more than junk. Every morning, a quiet janitor named Elias Ward cleaned the endless metal halls of the station. He was honest, hard-working, and almost invisible. Pilots, traders, and soldiers walked past him every day without saying a word. To them, he was only the man who swept the floors. But Elias had one strange habit. Whenever his work was finished, he explored the oldest part of the scrapyard. He loved looking at ancient human ships. He believed every old ship carried a forgotten story. One evening, while checking a dark storage dock, he saw something that made him stop. A massive human warship rested deep inside the shadows. Its hull was covered with thick rust, broken armor, and years of dust. Most of its name had faded away. Every record on the station marked it as worthless scrap. The station owner laughed when Elias asked about it. "If you really want that pile of metal," he said, "I'll sell it for almost nothing." Everyone nearby laughed. They could not believe a janitor would waste all his savings on a dead warship. Elias ignored them. Something inside him said the ship was different. He signed the papers and became its new owner. Hours later, while standing alone inside the dark command bridge, a single blue light suddenly appeared. Then another, and another. The silent ship slowly came to life. A calm mechanical voice echoed through the bridge. "Identity confirmed." Elias looked around in shock. The voice continued, "Welcome back, Captain." His heart froze. He had never seen this ship before. So why did it already know his name? Elias stood completely still inside the ancient command bridge. The voice of the old ship continued to echo through the empty halls. For hundreds of years, this warship had been silent, forgotten, and abandoned. Yet somehow, it was calling him a captain. A bright light moved across the bridge as the ship scanned him. Strange symbols appeared on the broken screens. Elias did not understand the language, but the ship understood him. The old AI spoke again. "Captain Elias Ward. Access granted." Elias stepped back in disbelief. He was not a soldier. He was not a pilot. He was only a janitor who spent his life cleaning other people's ships. "That is impossible," he whispered. The AI did not answer his fear. Instead, the lights across the massive warship turned on one by one. Hidden doors opened. Ancient machines awakened. The ship's damaged systems began repairing themselves. Then a large image appeared in front of Elias. It showed a symbol that every human and alien knew. The symbol of the First Terran Fleet. The AI revealed the truth. This ship was called the Eternal Dawn. It was humanity's legendary flagship, a warship that disappeared during the First Galactic War more than 6 centuries ago. Everyone believed it was destroyed, but the truth was different. The ship had been hiding, waiting for someone worthy to find it. Elias walked deeper into the ship and discovered rooms filled with impossible technology. Weapons that no modern empire could build. Engines that could cross galaxies in minutes. Systems that were considered lost forever. But before Elias could understand what he had found, the ship suddenly sent a warning. Unknown ships were approaching. The AI displayed dozens of small vessels moving toward them. Pirates. They had detected the ancient warship's power returning. The pirate commander laughed through the communication channel. "Whoever owns that old wreck, surrender now. You have no chance." Elias looked at the massive command screen. For the first time in centuries, humanity's lost flagship had found an enemy. And this time, it was awake. The pirate fleet surrounded the ancient warship like hungry animals waiting for easy prey. They saw only an old, damaged ship covered in rust. They did not see the history hidden inside its metal walls. To them, Elias was just another unlucky owner who bought a worthless wreck. The pirate commander opened a communication channel again. "Old ships belong in the scrapyard," he said with a cruel laugh. "Give us control of your vessel, and we might let you live." Elias looked around the silent bridge. A few days ago, he was cleaning floors on a space station. Now he was standing inside humanity's lost legendary flagship. He did not know how to fight. He did not know how to command. But he knew one thing. He would not let them take the ship. AI, Elias said quietly. Can this ship defend itself? For a moment, there was silence. Then the ancient AI answered. Captain, this vessel was created to protect humanity when all hope was lost. The entire bridge suddenly changed. Old systems awakened. Hidden weapons moved out from beneath the damaged armor. Across the galaxy, forgotten machines came back online after hundreds of years. The pirates stopped laughing. Their scanners showed something impossible. The old warship was generating power levels greater than modern battleships. The pirate commander quickly ordered his fleet to attack. Hundreds of weapons fired toward the ancient flagship. But before the attacks reached the ship, a powerful energy shield appeared. The entire pirate fleet went silent. The AI spoke calmly. Threat identified. Defense systems activated. The legendary flagship fired its first shot in 600 years. A single beam crossed the darkness. One pirate ship disappeared instantly. Then another. Then another. The pirates finally understood their mistake. They did not attack a broken old ship. They had awakened a legend. But far away, hidden inside the Galactic Council's secret records, a forgotten alarm started ringing. Someone had detected the return of the Eternal Dawn. And the galaxy was about to learn that humanity's greatest weapon was never destroyed. The news spread across the galaxy faster than anyone expected. A forgotten human warship had returned. At first, nobody believed it. The Galactic Council called it a fake report. They believed the old stories about the Eternal Dawn were nothing more than ancient human myths. But the battle recordings told a different story. A single old warship had defeated an entire pirate fleet in minutes. Alien leaders watched the footage again and again. They saw the ancient human symbol on the ship's armor. They saw technology that their greatest scientists could not understand. Fear began to grow. Inside the flagship, Elias was still trying to understand everything. He walked through the massive halls and discovered thousands of rooms that had remained untouched for centuries. The AI guided him deeper into the ship. Captain, there's information you must see. A hidden chamber opened. Inside was a giant memory system containing the true history of humanity's first war. Elias watched old recordings from hundreds of years ago. The galaxy had once faced an enemy so powerful that every civilization was close to destruction. Humanity had built the Eternal Dawn as the final defense. But after the war ended, someone erased the ship from all records. Someone wanted the galaxy to forget what humanity was capable of. Before Elias could discover who was responsible, the ship received a new message. A massive alien fleet had entered the area. They were not pirates. They were soldiers from the Galactic Council. Their orders were simple. Capture the human flagship. Elias looked at the incoming fleet. The old fear inside him returned. He was not a trained captain. He was only a man who bought a forgotten ship. But the AI spoke again. Captain, you are not here because of your experience. You are here because the ship chose you. Suddenly, thousands of hidden systems activated. The Eternal Dawn moved forward. The galaxy watched as the ship that everyone thought was dead opened its ancient weapons. And for the first time in 600 years, humanity's legendary flagship prepared for war. The Galactic Council fleet moved closer to the Eternal Dawn, expecting an easy victory. They believed the ancient human ship was only a dangerous piece of forgotten history. They were wrong. Inside the flagship, Elias watched hundreds of modern warships surrounding him. Their weapons were stronger than anything he had ever seen before. Fear filled his mind, but the AI remained calm. Captain, the enemy believes they understand this ship. They do not. The Eternal Dawn suddenly changed. Panels across the old hull opened, revealing hidden technology that had remained locked for centuries. The damaged armor repaired itself. The rust disappeared. The forgotten symbol of humanity shined brighter than ever. The alien commanders watched in silence. Their scanners could not explain what they were seeing. The old warship was becoming something much more powerful. Then the AI revealed another secret. Captain, the Eternal Dawn was never the only one. A giant map appeared on the main screen. Thousands of hidden signals appeared across the galaxy. For centuries, humanity's lost fleet had been waiting in secret locations. The council leaders froze when they saw the numbers. Ancient Terran battleships, carriers, destroyers, ships that had disappeared from history. They had not been destroyed. They had been sleeping. Elias could barely believe it. A simple janitor had discovered not one legendary ship, but an entire forgotten empire of warships. Then the enemy arrived. Beyond the edge of known space, another fleet appeared. The AI identified them as the same force that nearly destroyed the galaxy centuries ago. The enemy that humanity had fought before had returned. The Galactic Council finally understood the truth. The Eternal Dawn was not a weapon of conquest. It was a warning. Humanity had hidden its power because it wanted peace. But now, the galaxy's greatest threat had returned. Elias looked at the endless fleet waking up around him. The AI asked one question. Captain, should we activate the Terran Armada? For the first time, Elias smiled. The galaxy had forgotten humanity. Now, humanity was coming home. The darkness of space was filled with thousands of ships. On one side stood the enemy fleet that had returned after centuries of silence. On the other side stood humanity's forgotten armada, awakened by one old warship and one unexpected captain. Every civilization in the galaxy watched the impossible scene. The same humans they once considered weak had returned with a fleet that belonged to another age. Inside the Eternal Dawn, Elias looked at the massive battlefield ahead. He still could not believe his own journey. A few days earlier, he was a simple janitor who cleaned abandoned stations. Now he was standing at the front of humanity's greatest fleet. The AI spoke. Captain, all Terran ships are ready. Elias took a deep breath. Then let's protect the galaxy. The battle began. The enemy attacked first, sending thousands of weapons toward the human fleet. But the Terran ships moved like they had been fighting together forever. Their formations were perfect. Their technology was beyond anything the galaxy had ever seen. One by one, the enemy's ships fell. The Galactic Council watched in complete silence. They finally understood why ancient civilizations feared humanity. Humans were not dangerous because they wanted war. They were dangerous because when they had no choice, they never gave up. After hours of battle, the enemy flagship moved toward the Eternal Dawn. It believed destroying the legendary ship would end humanity's return. But Elias had one final surprise. The AI unlocked the ship's oldest system, a weapon that had never been used before. The enemy commander realized the truth too late. The Eternal Dawn was not an old warship. It was the heart of a fleet that had protected the galaxy for centuries. The final attack ended the enemy threat forever. After the battle, the galaxy changed. The Council no longer saw humanity as a forgotten species. They saw them as guardians. And Elias Ward, the janitor who bought a rusted warship, became the first civilian captain of humanity's greatest legend. The Eternal Dawn continued its journey through the stars. Because legends can be forgotten, but they never truly disappear.